Hi, welcome back. Now we are changing chapters. We're going to go back to geometry. So now we are going to see chapter 12, and this is lesson 1B, talking about circumference and area of circles. I know we've seen this before when we studied geometry, but we are going to have a quick recap today. So the first thing we're going to see is circles. Draw a circle. There are many ways to draw a circle. You can use a plate, you can use tape, you can use the pen and the line, and with a pencil you can draw, or you can just go around the border of an object to draw a circle. So it doesn't matter what the tool that we are using, there's just one way of defining what a circle is. A circle is a set of points that are the same distance, or they are equidistant from the center point. So now we see the parts of a circle. The parts of a circle are, let's start with the center. The center, it's a given point from which all points are the same distance. So the center, as the name says, right in the middle. Any point in my circle has the same distance from the circle to the center of my circumference, of my circle. The radius. The radius is that distance I was talking about. It's a segment from the center to any point in the circle. So you see center A, the radius, and point B. So anywhere that you go from the center to the circle, see, the circle is that area, that part over here. This is the circle. Anywhere you go from the center to the circle is equidistant. Then we have the diameter. The diameter is the distance across the circle, but not anywhere. It has to go through the center of the circle. So, what are conclusions that we can make? The radius plus the radius equals the diameter. So, radius plus radius is the same as diameter. It goes from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle. Circumference. Circumference is the distance around the circle, and this is a special name for perimeter. So if we could get the circle itself and we could cut it, what would we have? We would cut the circle and stretch it out. So if we could cut it, what would we have? We would have this very big line over here that is called circumference, which is the measure of the perimeter of the circle. Then, what is the formula for circumference? Circumference is found with 2 pi r, or circumference can be the diameter, which is the 2 times the radius, times pi. Pi is 3.1415.9, and it goes forever. Pi doesn't end. So when necessary, we can round pi to 3.14, or depending on the case, even to 3. But usually we just leave our findings with pi. See an example. Find the circumference of the following circle. So we have a circle here that has a 5-meter radius. So how do we find that? We plug it in the formula. So C equals 2 times pi times r. Circumference is going to be 2 times pi times 5. See? 2 times pi times the radius. 2 pi r. 2 times pi times 5. Which is 2 times 5 is 10 pi. Or we can substitute pi by 3.14. And then we have what? 10 times 3.14, circumference 31.4 meters. Then we go to area. Area is everything. So it is everything that is inside. Circumference is just the outside line, the perimeter, and area is everything inside. So the formula for area is pi times r, which is the radius, square. Remember, radius is square and not 2 times radius. And pi, 3.14. So let's see a second example here. Find the area of the circle below. So the area is going to be what? Pi times r squared. That's the formula for area. The area is going to be what? Pi, 3.14, times 5, which is the radius, squared. Remember, again, 5 to the second power is not 5 times 2, 10. It is 5 times 5, which is 25. 25 times 3.14, 78.5 meters. Now let's do a quick recap of what we've seen today. Diameter, 2 times the radius or radius plus radius. The circumference, 2 pi r or diameter times pi. And the area, pi r squared. So here are the 3 shapes, 3 figures, so you don't forget. Here, diameter goes from one side to the other through the center. And radius is from the center to the circle. Circumference is the line around the circle. And area is everything inside the circle. So now I have a homework. This is a different homework. You are not going to have to work with any problems from the book or from a paper that I'm giving you. You are going to create your own problems. How? Find 4 round objects in your house. Look for perfect circles, okay? Don't get anything that's bent. Then use a measuring tape to measure the radius or the diameter of your item, the ones that you found in your house. Then what are you going to do? After measuring each one of the radiuses or diameters, use a sheet of paper and the formulas to find the area and the circumference of each one of the items that you found in your house. Post the pictures. So this is how you're going to turn in the homework for me. Post the pictures of you measuring the objects and the paper where you did the work to find area and circumference. So this is what I'm talking about. I have something here that I brought from my house, and it is a mug, and it is circle. So I have here my measuring tape. So what I do is I come, it's easier for me to measure the diameter. So I measure the diameter here, and it measures 9 centimeters. So here's the picture that you're going to take. Look, funny picture, huh? So you, with the tape, measuring the diameter. And then on a piece of paper, you're going to write what? You get your paper. Here's your paper. You're going to write blue mug. So you write blue mug. And you're going to write what? Diameter equals 9 centimeters. You can measure it with anything. You can measure it in inches. You can measure whatever you're measuring. You can measure it in feet. So whatever you measure, take a picture so I see you measuring it. And then you use the formulas, circumference and area. And you find here, don't just put the answer. So this is 2 pi r. And this is going to be what? 2 times pi times the radius. So this is 9 centimeters. So this is 4.5. Or I could have used what? Diameter times pi. So this is what? The circumference is 9 pi. And this can be my answer in centimeters. The area, pi r squared. So I am going to do the same thing for area. So I am going to write pi times the radius, 4.5 squared. And then you have to put the answer. So you have your name here. So I write Elaine. I put the date, which is the date you're doing the homework. And then I put here, number 1, blue mug. And I do this for the blue mug. Then I find something else. Let's see, a plate or something. So I write number 2, and I put here plate, and I do the same thing. I put the diameter or the radius, whatever it is that you measure with your tape and your object, and you solve circumference and area for your second object. So this is just a hands-on activity. You're not going to use the book. I hope you have fun. I am dying to see your pictures and the paper. See you next class.